Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Touchline podcast. This is the podcast where we discuss all the weekly matches, all the transfer updates, and everything to do with football. Today I'm joined by Kalash, Noah, and Vishwa. This week there were four Champions League games, and the first one was Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. Your thoughts on the game, Kalash?
It's a good win. Like it's an away goal as well. It's a really good win for us. Like Atletico was so poor, top of La Liga as well, and they didn't get shot on target. Like that's terrible. But I feel like we played well defensively and going forwards. What a goal from Giroud to win us the game, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
The goal,
good 12 yards out.
yeah. It's
What
good
a goal.
overhead.
Bicycle kick.
the goal was
Oh,
originally
black.
out for offside, but then there was a VAR review, and the VAR review said that it had came off the Sevilla defender. The debate was whether
Sevilla.
Sevilla.
Atletico Madrid, man.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid.
Right. Anyway,
Cut that.
yeah.
Cut that.
Yeah, it came off Hermoso, and people are saying that it shouldn't have counted, but he's made an intent toward the ball. If you don't know the rules, like he's moved his leg towards the ball and it's come off him. So yeah, that's why I think that's a goal.
So do you think you're going to wrap it up in the second leg?
I hope so.
Do you think there's a chance that Atletico could
If they
come
attack,
back and...
it depends. It all depends on what players they get back. So like Jimenez was a big loss for them at the back. If he comes
Yeah.
back, then maybe it could help them. Also, if they go out and attack from the off, also if we've just played them after they've lost to Levante. Maybe if they hit some good form and then we play them, but like they were in poor form before they played us. So I don't know, maybe it all depends. You will just see as time progresses if what will happen.
No, well, Atletico have to attack because first leg they were so passive. They didn't look like scoring. They didn't have any chances, and they
just didn't attack. They just sat back. Even after they conceded, they weren't playing like a team that had to get a goal. They were playing like a team that were actually winning, and they were just slow, like taking free kicks. Like they just slow, just passing around the back and then giving the ball away. That's all they was doing.
I mean, personally, I was quite afraid before the match, especially after the Southampton game. I thought Chelsea were going to actually lose this match, and obviously Giroud saved the day.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, do you think Chelsea can win the Champions League for sure?
I've had this thing. I really do think Chelsea are going to win the Champions League. I really, really do.
Nah, there are just so many better teams than Chelsea in the Champions
But all I'm saying is they all said that about the Chelsea team that won the Champions League. That we like that Bayern Munich team that we played in the final was levels above us, but we still won it. And so I guess you need some luck to win stuff like this. We've got luck coming off the defender for this game, so maybe we could win it. We are the underdog. You have to realize that the Champions League is very different. It's 2 legs as well, so anything can happen over 2 legs.
Yeah, but this tie definitely isn't done though. For all we know, Atletico Madrid could turn it round.
I know, but all I'm saying is you can't rule us out because there's better teams than us. We could still pull it. Like on paper, there's better teams than us, but this could still win over 2 legs. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. You can't rule us out.
Yeah.
Well, we also had Lazio versus Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
That day. And Bayern Munich just look unstoppable right now. The best team in Europe for sure.
They are definitely.
They literally lost to Freiburg.
But just
they've been
in the big game as well. In the big games, and they're top of the Bundesliga. They don't look like anyone could really stop them from winning the big games and winning the big tournaments.
Yeah, the Bundesliga.
I mean, Lazio are a good team, and they just smashed them 4-1.
Lazio haven't been great this season as well.
But they're a good team. They're a good team.
They're a good team, but they're 6th this season. They're like 10 points off top. They're nowhere near where they were last season. Whereas, like Bayern don't really have any competition, and like just recently they haven't been playing that well. So
Yeah, one of the goal scorers for Bayern Munich, Musiala. He was the youngest Champions League English scorer. He's 17 and he did a
Well,
nice goal from outside the box to become.
that's an interesting point because Musiala has just announced that he's gonna represent Germany at an
Yeah.
international level. And he was born in Germany, I think, and then moved to England
I
when he was
mean,
young.
he could have been good potential for England, but then again, England do have
Yeah,
a
he
lot.
was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was born in Stuttgart, so he
Yeah.
was born in Germany, but he spent most of his. He played for our academy. Most of his underage level he played for us. So he was in London for most of it, and then he's switched over. But yeah, other addition for Germany's talent, I guess. But yeah. All right, next game. That Atlanta, Real Madrid. Pretty big game. There was what a goal from Mendy to win
And
the
I
game.
saw that was from
Yeah,
an unlikely scorer.
red card for the Atlanta player, Remo
Really?
Fruleng.
Yeah.
He was sent
Yeah.
off after just 17 minutes because Mendy was through on goal and he was the last man there.
It was
Yeah, and I
goal
mean,
weak foot as well.
Atlanta did well. They did well to not concede for 86 minutes.
For me, Atlanta were the better team in that game. Real Madrid weren't even that good. They didn't hit second gear. They were just poor. They weren't even that good. Like aside that goal, for me, if Atlanta finished their chances, they would have won.
But Real Madrid did get the job done. That's what big teams do. Like the best teams, they just grind out results. Like even when they're not doing that well, as long as they get the win, that's what matters.
Real Madrid did dominate, but for me, they were the better team. They just held out. Yeah, it's just gonna be an interesting tie, I guess, for the second leg.
Yeah, and the final one was Mönchengladbach versus Manchester City, which was always going to go Man City's way.
18-man City win.
Maybe it's just me that thinks this, but they always seem to get easy knockout ties, don't they?
Yeah,
Man City.
I mean, last season,
apart from last year,
they only lost to they did get they lost to
but then
Lyon.
so
they lost to Lyon.
But they seem to be getting teams like Porto the year before, I think. And
literally, their group was like people said we had an easy group. We did have the Europa League win, but they had like Marseille, Porto teams that.
When was the last time City got like a really good team in their group? Because
I know.
I mean, they got knocked out by Spurs like 2019. They
but
got
that Spurs City's team was better than Spurs that year.
Yeah.
Liverpool 2018.
They'd get Liverpool, I guess, but they were still better than Liverpool that season. Both those seasons they've said they both won the league. They've both been knocked out by English teams. So I guess that in the Champions League they just bottle it. I guess.
Do you reckon they'll bottle it again?
Hopefully, but I don't know. They look really good this season, you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who can stop them. Any hope that another team stops them, but it looks like they're the dominant team. But yeah, we don't usually talk about the Europa League, but I just want to talk about the Dele Alli goal that he scored against Wolfsburg or something. So yeah, edge of the box, pinged into him. He flicks it up over his head and then overhead kicks.
All right, overhead kick. Now, forget the occasion. I think the goal that Dele Alli scored was a better goal.
You can't just say forget the occasion because that is big.
No, but as in just looking at the goal by itself.
Yeah, technically it's better.
Goal.
I'll admit that. Yeah, technically it's better, but occasion matters. And also, he's just picked up the ball. No defenders are just staring at him picking up the ball. It's like so. What were they doing?
When you can say the thing about the Giroud one, though, he had a lot of space.
The defending could have been better.
No, but Giroud's goal, it came off a deflection. It's not like the defender's fault. He came off him. He didn't need to do it.
And Dele Alli had to make it himself with the touch.
Yeah,
and he started the move as well in his own
standing
half.
around it. Yeah,
but Dele Alli was quite good the whole match, I would say.
Yeah, 2 assists as well.
Yeah, 2 assists.
Yeah, but like all your players do well in the Europa League, and then you guys go.
I mean, it is Wolfsburg. It isn't the best team, but yeah, good performance.
I'm hoping we can carry that form into the league, And speaking of that, I mean, Jose Mourinho apparently has the next 3 games to prove himself and save himself.
Ooh, yeah.
Burnley, Fulham, and Palace. Which
But what I don't get is he's been given games, but we had Lampard sacked this season, and the front runner for you guys trying to get is Nagel. When
They're looking
Lampard
at
was
Brendan
sacked,
Rodgers.
and we were trying to get when Lampard was sacked, and we were trying to get Nagelsmann, they said end of the season. So if you're gonna sack, say Mourinho loses these games, he doesn't do well out of it. Like realistically, there's a chance that you don't win all of those games.
if we get maybe if you get 2 or if you get like 2 or 3 points from these 2 games,
like realistically, like just say hypothetically that he loses all the games. If you sack him, you're not going to be able to replace him with Nagelsmann, though, are you?
No, I mean,
So
I don't
that's
want
why I'm
to.
thinking you should wait till the end of the season. Then
there is another manager on the line actually.
I mean, what
as well?
who are they looking at?
Yeah, should go ahead.
I mean, what Spurs could have done is that they could just get an interim until the end of the season, and then after then.
I'm not a huge fan of interims because they'll get a little bit of a bounce and they'll probably get the job. Be a bit like Solskjaer, won't it?
Well, it depends what you guys want to do. Because, well, what we do is we don't appoint interims. If you guys do that, because for us usually when we get interims, it works. Maybe if you get interims, it might work.
There isn't that many games this season left, anyways.
Yeah, no, but maybe try and like I don't know, like try and just like push for like.
I think it would be the best decision to wait till May before.
Wait till the end of the season.
Anything.
Yeah, well, we've got a Carabao Cup final.
You've got a Carabao Cup final, and you could win the. I know it's unlikely, but you could win the Europa League. So,
but I think
that's the deal breaker for me. The Europa League is the deal. That's the most important one.
But if you say you win the Carabao Cup, say you win the Carabao Cup and finish like 6th, would you be happy? Would you want
happy?
Would you want
moderately happy?
Moderately
happy, but I still think Jose Mourinho then should go because it's a bad league position. We're not playing good football. I think then I take Nagelsmann.
Yeah, apparently the players are.
And you've seen that their attitudes at times have been on the pitch.
Yeah, but like you guys have it's not like you guys don't have the players.
I think Mourinho's tactics have been woeful at times.
I think playing Ali could be a wise decision for future games. I think personally,
like when he has played in the Prem, he hasn't even been that good. For me, he's not been anything revolutionary. For me, Bale, if Mourinho manages to get something out of Bale, like get him performing, then maybe you could win the Europa League or something. But
I think we can only do that if Gareth Bale, if we're playing more attacking football, and we're allowing our forwards to.
If you're just going to play, just passing it around the back, that kind of football, and just defending, going really deep, and then just hoofing it up.
Then we may as well play Bergwijn because he's going to run around.
Yeah. The concern with Gareth Bale,
it's not like you don't have the players to attack. You have
there's no aggression
and Son, and you have Bale in that front three.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
and your midfield is good. Your defense isn't great, but then why focus your game on defense if your defense?
I know. I mean, why can't we have attack be our best form of defense? Keep the ball. Not allow them the ball, so it's less danger.
The only thing that is keeping him in a job is that this football's worked for him. He's won us Chelsea League titles, so maybe.
But he didn't play this bad football when he won the league. When he won in the league.
No, but
it wasn't this negative.
Second half of the season in that 40-50 season example, we'd go 1-0 up, then just shut up shop for the second half, and it was just terrible. We had players like Hazard just sitting there and Hazard and Costa, who could create goals, just letting teams like Swansea come to Stamford Bridge and dominate possession when we could be attacking.
Also, let's not forget that the early forms Spurs had, they were top of the league for a good period of time. They were.
So was everything.
I think.
So was.
Yeah.
You can't really take that into consideration.
Southampton were top of the league for a bit as well.
Yeah.
But also, I think, that West Ham loss, the draw, the 3-3 draw, I think is what really changed it.
Draw as well,
that's probably what made him play fancy football, because guys were playing attacking football and they just went and conceded 3. But yeah, also I don't get why you guys play 3 at the back at some points. Like it just doesn't suit.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it's team selection. We have no consistency on our back line.
Yeah,
We need a centre back partnership.
You need to stick with one. Let them.
Centre back in the team.
Wait, when we were actually winning games, we had Alderweireld and Dyer at the back,
Yeah.
with Aurier and Reguilon, and while we were actually winning games, that didn't really change.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mourinho, for some reason, started changing it around, playing Rodon, playing Sanchez, playing a back three with Davis as a left centre back. It didn't.
Well, nevertheless, Daniel Levy says he's hopeful that Spurs might come to success even after this fall. What do you guys think about that?
He just loves Mourinho, doesn't he? He just loves Mourinho.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want.
I think.
In that All or Nothing documentary, you can just see.
Yeah, every time you see the way he was looking at him when he was talking.
Yeah, but it does look. It does look. It looks weird, doesn't it?
I mean, back to Noah's earlier point, though, about playing four at the back. They did play a 4-2-3-1 against West Ham. They had Tanganga at right back, Sanchez and Dyer at centre backs, and Reguilon at left back.
No, but that is because, well,
Aurier was injured.
Aurier was injured, Hesham.
And Doherty's been
Doherty, he's been so bad, and he is a right back. So for that game, I don't think his team selection wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but sometimes
he's suited as a right wing back, so maybe that's why Mourinho.
I remember when Doherty played left wing back one time. I can't remember who it was against. The Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool game.
Yeah, he was awful.
He was probably the worst performance I've seen from him.
It's so bad.
So that's probably why he's lost trust in him.
Yeah.
He looked like a really good. He looked like a really good signing, didn't he? When you signed him.
Yeah, definitely. I was excited.
Yeah, I told you, like, he's better as a right wing back, but you guys won't really play him as a right wing back. And when you do play three at the back, he plays left wing back.
Or doesn't play at all.
Yeah, or doesn't play at all.
Right, so going back onto the European games and conversation, one thing that particularly Hesham's quite impassioned about is the away goals rule, and should it be scrapped? Not just because of this whole neutral grounds thing, but in general, and going into the next few years. So, Hesham, if you want to start on that one.
Yeah, well, yes, I think it should be scrapped because it's, although for this neutral grounds, because like it's harsh on the teams who are meant to be playing at home, but also throughout the whole competition, because it encourages teams while at home to park the bus, and especially when there's fans at the stadium, it'd just be boring to watch. And when teams typically park the bus at home, and if you have the home team parking the bus, it just most of the time it'd end up being a 0-0 or 1-0 victory. I think we should still have two legs, but if it's a draw, we go to extra time and then penalties. It'd be more attacking, more entertaining to watch, and then it would be more thrilling.
No, I get what you mean, but for me, I agree with your away goals point, but you saying that extra time will be attacking. How often do you see extra time be attacking? It's usually just both teams, they're tired, they just sit back because they don't want to concede, and it's just both teams don't want to attack. They just want to run it down to penalties.
Not necessarily extra time, but penalties.
Penalties would be good. I think they should do what like the Carabao Cup does. They're just straight penalties.
Well, for me, I disagree with Hesham's point on away goals. I think if there were away goals, encourages the away team to attack a little bit more and be a little bit more aggressive.
For me, in the long run,
I feel
encourages teams to be defensive.
No, personally, I feel like it predetermines strategies and tactics before.
Basically.
No, but if you can go into an away game and know
the away team and you're going to like Camp Nou, of course you're going to. Of course, you're going to defend. You're not going to attack.
Yeah, but there's more reward for scoring when there's the away goals rule. There's more of an incentive.
Yeah, but they're going to try and say as like a spectator. It like the Champions League. That's what it's for. It's more for like teams that it's
more about the money these days. But
yeah,
if one goal is just more prominent than another, it just defeats the fact.
Yeah, every goal should have the same value.
Yeah, it just defeats the fact of it.
For me, mainly, it should not be going through away goal should not be working right now because what like for
It's
example
been
the Chelsea
hit.
game,
I don't know
Chelsea
why
game.
we have.
the Chelsea game, and that's against Atletico. How can we get an away goal and that's meant to be their home in Budapest, where when they're based in Spain? That doesn't make sense.
I agree.
If we're gonna scrap it for one season, maybe they should do it. They should do it now.
I still don't think so. I really don't. I think, home teams would attack more at home because they're in front of their crowds. They have that advantage, and away teams will also attack because they have that advantage of the away goal. It adds a bit more of a complexity as well to the whole thing, which I think can be quite exciting.
It would put home teams off attacking though, because of the fear of.
I don't think it does. I mean, I don't really think it does put home teams off attacking.
They don't want to concede away goals. They try to limit it, so they play back a bit more. And even away teams, like depending on what stadium they're at, they'd still want to defend.
Well, I mean, look at PSG v Barcelona. Didn't quite work out.
One game.
I remember when we went to the Etihad and we scored 3 goals.
That's
That's an
different.
away game.
That's in England.
That is different.
That's very different for me because that's in for me it's in a different country.
Going to Ajax and winning 3-2.
Also, look at Atlanta.
Well, yeah, but no, you can't say that because the only reason you went out all out attacking that game because you were going to go out. Right? At the start, you didn't play attacking, did you? You conceded 2.
Barcelona went 3-0 up against Liverpool at home, so they weren't restricted that season.
Also, look most recently, Atlanta versus Real Madrid. Atlanta were basically just parking the bus against Real Madrid and were letting them attack.
Yeah, but they also were a man down in that game. They had a sending off.
No. If you watch the game, they defended from the off.
Yeah, they did.
But that would make it even more so.
They didn't have a shot on target, man. They had 2 shots, none of them were on target.
But also, I mean, Real Madrid are much
They
more.
had 19% possession. No, but like they would just scoop it up. That's what that game plan was. Just defend.
Madrid are a far more superior team, though.
Yeah, but it only encourages Atlanta even more to park.
No, this season for Madrid have been dead. Like this season, they went to Shakhtar and dominated.
Yeah, but they're better. They're better than Atalanta.
Yeah, I know, but this season, Real Madrid are better than Shakhtar, but Shakhtar did the double over this season. Like I said, Champions League is different. It doesn't matter who's better; it's in those games. It's completely different.
Okay.
Right, so we'll end with the.
Chelsea.
The United Chelsea game on the weekend. Yeah, so we decided to do a combined 11.
Yeah, obviously Chelsea going to win that game. No disagreements with that. Top team. Yeah, okay, let's start.
Right, goalkeeper.
Should we agree on a formation first?
Right, 4-3-3. Standard.
4-3-3,
yeah. No.
A goalkeeper, despite his mistakes, I'd still put De Gea in it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's no debate there. There's no debate. De Gea is just one of the best. He does make mistakes. One of the best in his position, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
So.
A lot better than me.
Right back.
Right back.
It's not 1%. It's just not 1%.
It is not.
It's not. There's literally no debate. Like Reece James is just so much better. Right, left back. So if we were going overall, like how Chilwell started the season, I would have said Chilwell, but he has dropped off a bit. And just like I think Luke Shaw has like the most chances created as a defender this season.
Yeah. So
45 chances from left back. Like that's mental. And like he's just found some consistency, I guess, this season. I think with the signing of Tellez coming in, he's just been so much better. So I'd say Luke.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
All right, centre backs.
Centre back, I'd go Thiago Silva and Eric Bailly.
I went for the same.
Thiago
Silva and Bailly.
I went Thiago Silva and Kurt Zouma.
Bailly he's good, but like how often does he play, man? He's always injured. He has like
when he does play,
when was the last time you saw him play? When was the last time you saw him play?
He played against like Wolves, or like
United.
When did you
What was
last see him
the-
play?
He played
Me-
in our last Premier League.
Europa League, I think he played.
Yeah, but like
Don't remember the match.
how many games has he played? Like Zuma's most recently.
I think Zuma's better.
Yeah, Zuma's just
But
a better.
Zuma, then again,
No, but the
doesn't
thing with
play
Bai,
often.
he makes our defense good.
But why
though.
he's played 7 Premier League games this season? What are you on about? 7. He's a centre back. He's not. It's not like he's been playing bad. And also, he played in that. What's it called? In that 6-1 defeat, and he was fully fit, and he played, and he was terrible.
That's one game though, but when like all the games he's had except for that
7 games. 7 games. For me, like he's good, but for me,
game,
but what's more important is who can consistently play. Azuma's barely injured, whereas Bai's always injured. Seven games.
Yeah, if
for
Zuma does play,
for a
he
centre
does.
back.
Zuma's hardly playing nowadays. Like
He's
Yeah,
not played
Zuma
16
just-
matches this season, man. 16 matches.
playing at the start of the season, but nowadays he's playing less though.
Nowadays, he literally played like you said, he played our last Premier League game. Yeah, he did play our last Premier League game. He played against Southampton.
And
So,
he
yeah.
didn't do well, did he? So
So Callum,
One
who you
match.
put in? You put in Silver and
I'm
Zuma.
put Silva and Zuma.
Yes, I think also Zuma offers a lot more in the opposition, the other box.
Yeah,
as
and
well,
he can
with his
score.
I mean,
aerial
Silva's
ability.
obviously
He score as well.
100% one of the centre backs. He has to.
Yeah.
Talent.
Just this season, he's been better.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you lot can have Zuma in.
No.
Right.
But like, how can you say this season when Bai's played 7 games? For me, you need to find consistency and play games. Like a good centre will be there every game and play. Like Zuma's been dropped recently, but when he's played, he's been all right.
Well, Bai has played in the cup games as well, mostly for us. I mean, that's 7.
If you're gonna add it up
Okay.
as well, then Zuma's 100% played more games. If you're gonna add it up, you can do everything else. All right, cool. We'll go midfield. All right, CDM. It's got to be Kante for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kante.
no, Kante.
Pogba and Fernandez is the other 2.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Pogba and Fernandez. So, should we go left wing?
Left wing.
I guess it's Rashford. I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rashford.
Rashford.
I think Marcus
No, he-
Rashford.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Rashford.
That's
And then right wing in the Doi.
that's
Yeah.
another way.
Probably Hudson-Odoi
Yeah.
then. Yeah,
That's
I don't.
another way.
This season, yeah. And then up front, who would you lot say?
Giroud.
Probably Abraham or Werner.
Cavani.
I went for Giroud.
Cavani, man. No. I
Cavani.
think when Giroud's been called upon, he's been so good.
Isn't
Giroud.
he
No,
also
no.
good?
You got to give Cavani when he's played, he's been so good.
I mean, back to the argument you lot made earlier about Eric Bailly. Cavani doesn't play like every game for us.
Well,
though.
neither does Giroud.
No, but
And
like,
this-
okay. So, but that's not because of injury. That's just like, okay. Well, if we're just gonna compare minutes, I think in the Champions League, he's played 4. Cavani's played 4 matches. Giroud's played 5. Giroud has 6 goals in 5 games. Cavani has none in the Champions League. EFL Cup, they both have the same amount of games and same amount of goals. Premier League, Cavani has 4 more games and 2 more goals. Yeah, so he's played 4 less games and he has 2, and Giroud has 2 less goals. Like for me, just Giroud's just like has a better goal to games ratio
No, but
as
I
well.
think
When he's called upon, he's reliable. He plays.
Yeah, Giroud is.
And Giroud,
Cavani
He plays.
Cavani's also got 2 assists to Giroud's none in the Premier League. I think
but
I just think
Giroud's
Cavani-
Giroud
link-up
is a
play so much
striker. He doesn't have to.
But
You don't have
Giroud's
to
link
bring
up plays better in my
assists.
I don't think you say. I think Cavani is also really good at that, getting the ball and putting in crosses. Because I've seen him do that at points or holding up. I think Cavani is just a better all-round player and has been better this season. I think
This
he's a really
season
good
he's not
signing.
been better than. If we're going off this season, then for me, like in the Champions League as well, Giroud's been one of the best players. He's been so
He
good.
has. He's definitely our best striker. I'd say so.
Giroud has the same amount of goals in the Champions League as Cavani has in the Premier League, and he's played 12 more games. So Giroud's just been better for me. He's been when we've called upon him. He's
Well,
just
no,
been
this
so
is
good.
this is a Premier League 11. This is an 11 for a
Oh, we're
Premier
going
League
for off
match.
Premier League. Hesham
Well,
was
no, I mean,
bringing in
why are
like
we
cup
bringing it?
games
But
and
why
stuff.
are we bringing in the cup games when
Well,
we're
Hesham was
talking
bringing it
we're
in,
talking
so
about?
for Bailly, that's
Well,
why. But even if we're going off
well,
Premier League solely, Giroud scored 4 in 13, and most of them have been off. If we're comparing minutes, he's almost got half of Cavani's minutes, and he's scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying.
no,
Giroud's been
Cavani
better.
has less minutes per goal.
Abraham is your top scorer. though.
Cavani has less minutes per goal though.
But I would put Giroud ahead of Abraham.
I
To
think
be
Giroud
honest.
for me.
I
Giroud's
think
just
he's
been-
more reliable.
when Giroud's been called upon, he's just been so much better. For me, his link up play is just better as well. Just one touch pass and just laying it off.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
Cavani's created more chances as well.
We compare.
I think
You can't. You
I
can't. You
I
can't
think
put it on
Cavani-
chances, man.
Cavani. I know, but Cavani he does. I think he does so much more. He's scored more goals. He's
I
got
think
more assists.
Cavani is a good chance creator, but Giroud is a better finisher.
Cavani's got
Yeah,
more
you
goals.
don't need.
He's got
Yeah.
more goals.
Oh my days, man. Saying more goals. He's played 4 less games than him.
He's played. Cavani has more minutes or less minutes per goal than Giroud has.
But Giroud's played in less matches.
Cavani has come off the bench quite
So
a
was
lot.
Giroud, man.
So
No, but I
has
think most of
Giroud.
What are you on about?
Cavani's appearances have come off the bench.
Yeah, that's what
Most
he
of
spent
Giroud's
most of.
actually.
Yeah. Do you know who
Yeah.
Giroud's up there with the the highest goals as a sub? You do know that, right? So if you're gonna say he's good with coming off the
No,
bench,
but we're
Giroud's one of
looking
the
at this
best
season. We're
right now
looking
in
at
the
this
Premier
season.
League. Yeah,
I don't
and
think you
I'd
can
say
say Giroud. I don't. If you could just pick 2 players to put in your starting 11, you pick Edison Cavani. Surely.
I wouldn't though. That's the thing. I would just wouldn't.
Like,
Probably put him on the
no.
bench.
Yeah,
When he's
like you
come
said,
on.
Cavani's better coming off the bench. Like
I never said it's
So-
better coming off the bench. I just said based on the minutes and appearances where they will come.
Okay, I think we've all agreed on Giroud.
yeah. I think we've all
Yeah.
agreed on Giroud.
Yeah,
so
we've
yeah.
all agreed on Giroud.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. we'll
Sure, well,
probably
you're a
end it
United
there.
fan. Why are you not backing your players?
I would
Yeah, Spurs fan is backing your player more than you, Hesham. That's quite.
Give it a shout.
ask Cavani. Is only here for like 1 or 2 years.
What's that got to do with it?
Hey,
No, Hesham.
Okay,
You can't. What are you on about? How does that mean anything?
oh, okay.
Alright,
Okay.
cool. Yeah. So we'll probably end it here. Right.
Yeah. Thank
See
you for
you next time.
watching.
And yeah, subscribe.
Subscribe, please.